Welcome to Straight Up Reviews, where there's no bullshit beyond this sign. Well, today's a double whammy because not only is it my birthday, but also April Fool's Day. So I thought I would do a review of a lighthearted comedy. But since I couldn't find one in my collection, I decided to review Matilda instead. Unlike most kids before, during, and after my generation who used to read Doll religiously, I first caught a glimpse of Doll's work through the 1996 movie starring Danny DeVito as well as then child star Mara Wilson, and didn't read the book until later in my school life. I liked it, but I liked the movie better. Now, to my shock, this particular movie was a commercial flop, unlike other movies based off Doll's work such as Willy Wonka and James and the Giant Peach. However, to my relief, the movie was well received by critics and also spawned a massive cult following from Danny DeVito fans to fans of the book to fans of Mara Wilson. So at least I wasn't the only one who liked the movie. Spoilers ahead. The story revolves around the Wormwood family. Harry, the patriarch of the clan, is a crooked used car salesman that deliberately sabotages his own products and buys stolen parts. Zinnia, a vain housewife who may or may not be a hooker. Michael, the older brother and a bully. And finally, the titular character herself, Matilda. She discovers that she doesn't share her traits with the other decaying Wormwoods. As they are into TV and gossip and getting rich quick, she's into books and morality. However, she's not without a dark side, as she punishes her parents, her father especially, with various pranks for any wrongdoing inflicted on her. She finally gets her dream wish of going to school, but she finds to her horror that it's Cruncham Hall, a school known for its insane attempts at disciplining their kids. It is there where she meets Miss Jennifer Honey, the only nice teacher shown in the movie, and the ever-maniacal Miss Trunchbull, who offers punishments so severe and over the top that if their kids told their parents would believe them. It is also then there where Matilda, due to her superior intellect, is able to telekinetically move objects with her mind. Once in control of that power, she declares war on Trunchbull. Now, why would this movie be a flop? It has an okay story and it tries to stay true to Doll's spirit rather than completely copy the book word for word. It has well use of the wide-angle lens as a means to portray a child's point of view of a grown person, making them look gigantic rather than simply taller, and it has a great cast. DeVito does what he does best, playing sleazeball as well as being a father on top of that. Pam Ferris is great at being scary as well as over the top. She's one chemical accident away from being a cartoon villain. And Mara Wilson's no slouch either, which is very rare for child actors. She acts like she is wiser than her age, but never flaunts her intelligence as superior to others. And come on, who could really say anything mean about her smile when she does something cute or funny? Even in her adult years, when she's terrorizing nostalgia critics, she can still use that smile. So what is it? While it's obvious that I am biased on the subject as I like the film, I have a few theories. The first is narrator confusion. Danny DeVito plays a dual role as both the film's narrator and the father Harry. This raises confusion and raises a few questions as whether the narrator and Harry are the same person, due to the polar opposite way that he talks between them. The narrator saying nothing but nice things about Matilda, while Harry says outright mean things. I offer an alternative theory. They are the same person. Harry Wormwood, at some point of his life, realized how much he screwed up as a parent and decided to spend his prison time thinking back on Matilda's life. Fun fact though, this narrator confusion is what kept DeVito from reprising his role as himself and Louis from Taxi when he was on Man on the Moon. The second was due to the prior issues with the fandom. Doll has a wide spread of fans who still today are at war over which Charlie and the Chocolate Factory adaptation is better. So when they hear of a Matilda being adapted, they are split between whether this movie is good or whether it will suck. Some of which are so determined that prove that it will suck by not watching it through boycotting. And that goes for all other fandoms too. Then after watching it as soon as it got to VHS, they shift the blame on others for missing out on a good movie. Seriously guys, don't knock it till you try it. I may not like Twilight, but I at least had the guts to see it before choosing not to like it. There are others, but I like you the listeners to come up with your own theories. Not just on Matilda, but also every other cult-followed flop. Another thing I noticed is that those who do like the movie side more with Trunchbull than Matilda. Nostalgia Chick even had valid points to why. If you wish to hear them, go on That Guy with the Glasses, as I don't wish to repeat them. But with those points aside, they overlook two important plot points. The first being that Trunchbull willfully abused her niece Miss Honey, and even at some point in her life broke her arm. But if that's not convincing enough, here's this little tidbit. Throughout the story, Matilda and Miss Honey talk about her father, Magnus Honey. It was said that for some unknown reason he committed suicide, which in turn caused Trunchbull to wrongfully usurp his house from his daughter. However, as the plot moved forward, it was heavily implied by Matilda of all people that Trunchbull murdered Magnus and continues to feel haunted by his perceived ghostly presence. A weakness that the pint-sized powerhouse used relentlessly. Pretty dark for a kids' movie. Overall, Matilda holds a special place in my heart for reasons I do and don't want to say out loud. For the do part, it was because it was one of the few movies in the world that do take kids seriously, a trait later used in the Harry Potter movies. As a former kid myself, I know that it's a rare thing. As usual, debate, argue, and let me know what I missed. Stay tuned for more, and please, don't fuck with Mara Wilson. She could be watching this all, right now. April Fools.